program. He doesn't know it's not the big time. It's big time to him. Have that guy sign his shoes. Once he signs his shoes, my kid's a fan of that wrestler. He wants to go to wrestling matches. We got to bring mom, dad, and sisters to watch. Okay? Make an event. You got to give them something. We're not good enough for him to just come show up. And even if you are, you could be better. Okay? So that book, Good to Great, or whatever, it says, good is the enemy of great. Okay? Have a high school dual meet or a youth dual meet before all your matches. Those fans are coming in there, they're waiting while you guys are doing sweaty and eyeballing each other in the wrestling ring back there. Why can't we have a youth club versus this youth club, and then when they wrestle at Missouri or wherever it is, Binghamton, etc., they'll remember, hey, sit down, I want to wrestle on the mat for real in that singlet. Gives the fans something. And guess what happens when you bring two youth clubs in? You bring in all the fans, right? So your assistant coaches, you have to break this down. You have 6 dual meets at home this year. You give your assistants, you got this one, you have to plan you got pizza, you got to plan this one, and you make them CEOs. Does anybody know that Frank Broyles hired 5% of all the coaches that won the Super Bowl were Frank Broyles' assistants? 20% of NFL coaches at one time were Frank Broyles' assistants. You should be proud of the fact that your guys move up and become head coaches, not try to hold them down. Teach them how to do it. Teach them how they do these little things, and they might teach you a little something. Legends Night. You may say, we don't have any legends. Everybody's got legends. We're back to captain from 1995 or 2000. There should be a wrestling meet where we honor those people. So I'm kind of running out of time, but I kind of want to hit on 2 or 3 tools we use at the hatchery. So we all know what the $2 bill is. Try that, okay? Try that with your coaches, some kind of deal there. We require that our employees write 5 thank you notes a week. I am 100% sure that you probably don't do that, do you? Does anybody require their coaches to write 5 thank you notes a week? Well, at the hatchery agency, we have 50 employees. If you write 5 thank you notes a week times 50, that's 250 thank you notes. When you write a thank you note, 3 things happen. 1, you feel good writing it. 2, they feel good receiving it. And 3, I always say your name changes, because when I write one of those ladies at the insurance company a nice note telling them what a great job they did, the next time I call them, they say, hey, honey, how can I help you? Okay, so you've made a friend. Now, if you write, at the hatchery, if you write 250 a week times 52 weeks, okay, when we got 10,000 new friends, we don't advertise. There is no such thing. We have no advertising budget. Okay? We just do nice things for people, and it all comes back. Now, what if you're writing 5 thank you notes to the English professor that you heard he showed, some good words trying to help your wrestler pass? What if you thank the cafeteria guy for helping get the meal ready? What if you thank the bus driver? I mean, it's got to be required. They won't do it. You'll read my book. When I told my employees to do it, they didn't do it. They only did it when I put a financial incentive on it. My employees get paid $100 per month if they write their 5 thank you notes. So you may say, Greg, we don't have that kind of money. All right. When you hire your next assistant coach, how much you pay? Let's say $40,000. Right? He gets paid $36,000. He gets paid $2,400 if he writes his thank you notes. He gets paid $1,200 on whatever, and if he plans his night, and you incentivize it so he's got to do it. Okay? I'm out of time. I told you it'd be a challenge.
I think you keep going.
All right. I guess probably to illustrate this, just probably 2 last points. The last 2 chapters of the book. If you want to read the first one, which is called Just Win the Damn Ball Game. I worked for a coach in my college summers. He gave motivational talks for a living. After he retired, about 250 a year. Best speaker I've ever seen. Okay? He said he didn't care how we got the job done. He empowered all of us. We ran summer camps at the college. We had about 50 camps on the college during the summer, and we lived in a sorority house. Unfortunately, it was just the 4 guys that worked there. But we lived in a sorority house. We had keys to the whole campus. We planned their food service, their AV and tables and all this kind of stuff, their activities, etc. And he'd say, this conference is worth $70,000 to the college. At At the end of the week, you've got to renew them. You've got to make sure they come back. Anything and everything. Don't ask me questions. Do whatever they want. Dirty old man wants to go to the bar, take it. Sweet little old lady wants to go to church, take her. They want to go canoe, go get the canoes. Whatever they want. Get them to the airport, whatever they want. 24/7, you're on call. You guys are teammates. You do whatever it takes to get the job done. If Greg's got a baseball game, then Ron, you cover for him. Because sports are more important than your job. That's what he tells us. But at the end of the week, just win the damn ball game. So I empower all my employees to do whatever it takes to make the customer happy at the point of service without management approval. There's a bronze sign in the book. You'll see a picture that says any employee can go to my bookkeeper and say, write a check for $3,000. We screwed this up, and give it to the customer. They don't even have to call me and ask. The record check written is $25,000 with no approval. Just write the check, take care of the customer. Because I believe if I let one unhappy customer get out the door, they'll tell a zillion people, okay, and it'll cost me a lot more. I'll keep that customer, we'll fix it later, okay? So, chapter 1. Chapter 54 is about, all of you guys, basically. I did a little research before I got here, okay? And I found out that some of you, your wife left you. Some of you have bad health. Some of you aren't in as good a shape as you wanted to be. Some of you, you have bad relationships with your kids. Some of you got cut from the football team and it's still bugging you. Some of you just miss being All-American and you're just not getting over it. Some of you have bad relationships with your coaches, okay? Some of you have financial issues going on right now. Some of you, your parents are sick or hurt. Okay? And all that stuff, as you get older, you just start getting beat down. I mean, the more you have those failures, the more you make the biggest failure of all, and that's to not even enter the game. I don't want to try that. You know, I'm afraid of rejection. I don't want to ask for money and they tell me no. You know, I don't want to try to rebuild that relationship with her. She may dump me again. Okay? Well, this guy, when he was 22, he started a business and it failed. When he was 23, he ran for legislature and got defeated. When he was 24, he started another business and it went under. When he was 25, he was elected to the legislature, thank God. But at age 26, his sweetheart died. At age 27, he had a nervous breakdown. At age 29, he was defeated for Speaker. 31 defeated for elected. 34 defeated for Congress. 37 elected to Congress. At age 39, he was defeated for Congress again. At 46, defeated for Senate. 47 defeated for Vice President. 49 defeated for Senate. Finally, at age 51, Abraham Lincoln is elected President of the United States. He doesn't even bat 200, but I'll tell you one thing he does have. He has frustration tolerance. He has the ability to get his butt back up after getting beat down. He has the ability to risk. He has the ability to try. He has the ability to go for it. And those are your ultimate winners in life. And it's the guy that just keeps coming at you. Best wrestling match I ever had, I was down 15-0 before they had the Tech Fall. That's how old I am. Okay? I was wrestling Ferris State, which is Division I college, and I was down 15-0. I was really a 142 pounder. My coach put me in at 167 because I would never get pinned. I refused to get pinned. So I'm getting my ass kicked 15-0, but I kept coming out. I think it's 15-0 by the second period. I ended up throwing up during the match. I come back and win the match 17-15 because he could not go anymore. He was worn out. Okay? So that's what you want to develop in life. Guys that just keep on coming. Okay? You knock them down, they just keep coming back up until there's nothing left. Okay? Now the last chapter of the book, true story. Willie Starge, what did he play for?
Pirates.
Okay. So he plays for the Pirates. What was their theme song? We Are Family. Okay? And what award did Willie win?
Most valuable player, 1979.
Okay? So that just happened to be the year I graduated from high school. So he comes to Alma College when I'm a senior in college, and he speaks for an hour and a half, kind of like I'm speaking. He speaks to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I don't remember anything he said, just like some of you won't remember anything I said. Okay? Not a word. But in the question and answer, somebody asks a question, they say, Willie, what is the greatest lesson you've learned in Major League Baseball? Now, this is the one hard I can remember. Because see, in my entire high school and college baseball career, I never hit a home run. I almost never struck out, almost impossible to get past me, because I'd choke up and be careful, make sure, that I get here, I wouldn't strike out. Here's what Willie said. He said, the greatest lesson I learned in baseball is when I first came up to the majors. I'd come to bat with the bases loaded, there'd be 2 outs, and I'd say, oh God, please don't let me strike out in front of all these people. And I would choke up on the bat. I would adjust my stance a little bit, and I'd swing to make sure I didn't strike out. He goes, I hit a lot of ground balls to second, a lot of fly balls to right, but I didn't knock anybody in. Only when I conquered my fear of failure, only when I was willing to try and only count my successes instead of my failures, did I become a great player. He said, from that point on, when I come to that with the bases loaded and 2 outs, I never choked up. I swung as hard as I could to knock it out of the ballpark, each and every time. It said I struck out a lot more, but I hit a lot of grand slams. I missed and hit doubles and triples. And it's not an accident that I lead the majors in Grand Slam home runs. And from that point on, that speech changed me because I decided to start swinging for home runs. And I hit my first home run. And I hit home runs later in baseball and softball, but more importantly in life, simply because no longer would I worry about failing when I got in that situation. When I call that donor, it doesn't work. When I call the administrator, he tells me to get out of his office. I'm just going to keep coming and only count those successes. Now the funny part is, I wrote the book 55 Steps to Outrageous Service. I made in chapter 55. It's entitled Swing for the Fences. And I forgot to write a thank you note. The book was published. It had been out a couple of years. And finally I realized, hey, I never sent him a copy. So I pulled out the deal, I wrote a note, I sent it to the Pittsburgh Pirates, and sent them with the book. And about 2 months later, I opened the newspaper and it said, William Stargell dies of cancer at age 66. Now, I don't know who you're writing those thank you notes to, but you need to get them done, because sometimes you run out of time. You need to write them to your mom or your dad. The thank you notes don't have to be to clients. They can be to the bus driver, to anybody out there. But the bottom line is when you start doing those right things and building those relationships, you'll do a lot better. I appreciate you having me here. I hope you'll swing for the fences. I hope you'll be first, best, and different. I hope you'll always give more than somebody asks you to give. And I hope you'll lead your team by example instead of just telling them to do it. Thank you.